Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bunny. I'm back again for a whole nother video. Um, so this video, like I said in the last video, is me doing like a journey in how I'm gonna heal for myself and do the things that I need to do that I said I was gonna do for myself. Um, and part of the journey, like where I'm at in my journey, is I had a realization today that really made me understand a lot of things that has happened in my life. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to take accountability. Like, all the things that I've done are based off of decisions that I've made myself or how I reacted to them. Now, whether those situations were going to play out the way that they were going to play out, the same way or not, or if they were still going to end the way they were going to end, or whatever the case is, no matter what it was, my actions played a part. But also, I came to a realization that a lot of the reasons why I, might have reacted the way I reacted to certain things, whether they were good, bad, it didn't even matter what it was. It doesn't even have to be like a relationship with somebody, a friendship, it could be anything. And I reacted in those ways because I've been in a chaotic, toxic environment, home life for so long, and I was so blinded by it that I didn't realize that I knew I was in a chaotic uh, situation, but I didn't realize how much it was like affecting my life and how I handled things and how you know, how I dealt with things and how I treated people around me and all of that. That played a big, big factor into it. And I was becoming a person that I always tried to tell myself I didn't want to be. Whether I was like by myself or with someone, I just didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be a bully. I didn't want to be mean to someone, whether they deserved it or not. I didn't want to do any of those things. And I know that even even if I were to I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Even if I were to, like, so to speak, apologize to anybody that I had to make an apology to, it words can only do so much based on the type of damage you cause. And I know that. And I have to accept that because I can only do for me what I need to do for me. And that's the best thing that I can do right now. Like, I can't I can't beat myself up for something I already did that I can't take back. I just can't. Um it's too late for that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really is. I have to just be at peace with it to a certain extent and say to myself, I can't go down that rabbit hole again. I can't do that to myself. I have to really make sure I heal myself the way I need to heal myself so I don't go down that road again. So I don't, you know, do those behaviors. And it doesn't even matter with who's around me, just do those behaviors again. And I was I was living a life that wasn't my life. I was essentially living in a sheltered, controlled environment. everything that I was doing or saying was because, not just because there was things about me that I didn't heal, but it was also because I was in an environment where it had to go a certain way and it had to be controlled and it had to be run a certain way. And as soon as you went against that narrative, it was a problem. And I realized today that that's exactly what I've been doing for a while, and that played a part into why certain situations played out the way that they did, or why I reacted the way that I did, or why I said certain things that I said. And I'm like, that's not me. That's not who I am, and that's not who I want to be. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that angry female that goes out here and destroys people around her because she's a bully, because she can't have her way. I don't want to be that. I don't. And I was becoming that. And and I'm more mad at myself than anything that it took me this many years of my life to realize like that's what I've been doing. And it was right in front of my face the whole time that I'm not saying other people around me were the problem, whoever I had around me in my circle, but I was becoming the problem. I was becoming the issue because of how I was doing things, because I was living in a controlled environment, and then I was acting in ways that showed that I wanted to control the environment that I was in and the narrative of how I wanted to do things. And now everything all makes sense because now I'm like, my life, I wasn't living it. Granted, nobody's life is perfect, but I was not living my life the way I wanted to live my life. I was living my life being controlled by someone else because the person that was around me was so used to controlling everything and getting their way and having the people around them do what they wanted them to do. And I'm like, that's not what I want for myself. I don't want to have someone around me because I controlled them or because I told them you had to be this way. I don't want that for myself. What I want for myself is to heal myself and be the person that I need to be for me because I haven't been the person that I need to be. I haven't for a long time. I've been I've literally been like a puppet for a long, long time. And playing the puppet role for so long, and I didn't even realize I was being a puppet, and I had a puppeteer controlling my every move, and I was going along with it, and I was allowing it because I didn't realize, because I think I was so up under the toxicity of it all that I was spewing my toxicity to other people for no reason. I was I was being the toxic one, the one that I was being the one that I ran away from, from a relationship and all that. The person that I didn't want to be, that I got away from. And that's what I was becoming. And it's so disheartening that I couldn't I couldn't see I couldn't see it sooner. Not not just for um any particular reason, just for myself, because I could have fixed certain things with myself so much sooner, and I could have avoided a lot of things. But I know I can't beat myself up for the things that I've already done that I can't take back or I can't change. Only thing I can do at this point is move forward and realize that I was becoming the problem and I was causing the problems. And I was doing those things not because that's who I was as a person. I was doing those things because I was picking up traits of just people I had been around, and you know, and their qualities were gravitating onto me without me even realizing it. And when I realized that today, I realized not just from my bad decisions, things in my life wouldn't have played out the way that they did, but also the person that was trying to control my every move played a part in why I didn't have certain experiences, because that's not what she wanted for me. And and when I think about it, I lost a lot. And just I'm not even talking about like material items. I'm talking about like family I could have met and had better relationships with that I don't have. You know, I could have had if I could have had a better relationship with my own father if I wanted to. Didn't have that luxury. And it was just a downward spiral, and it's just a repeated vicious cycle that she's repeating, because I don't know how her home life was growing up, but it was like a vicious cycle. And now it all makes sense why, certain people not only shouldn't have children, but just certain people in general shouldn't have a daughter, because they take their trauma and then they put it onto their child, and then they don't even realize that they put it onto their child, and the damage that they're doing to their child, and the damage that if the child doesn't get the opportunity to realize for themselves what they've been doing, or the people that they'll hurt along the way because of how they're acting, they're just going to cause another vicious cycle. And if that person has children, they're going to do the same thing to their children. And that's all things that cycle has to be broken. And sometimes it's from the person that causes the chaos, meaning the person that's gravitating their negative life onto their child. But also sometimes the child is the one that has to figure out for themselves that they were not in the most healthy home environment. And yeah, they could have made better decisions, but they were also not in an environment to make those better decisions. Because if you're in a chaotic environment long enough, you don't know how to handle not being in a chaotic environment because that's all you know. And not so much like other people have to tell you, but you have to realize for yourself that you're living in a chaotic environment and that you're causing chaos because of this reason. And it's not so much to put blame on other people, but it's just realizing that you have to make a change and you have to better yourself because you've been living essentially a lie because you weren't living for you. You were living for somebody else, or someone else was living through you because either that parent like was jealous of the things that you had and you were able to experience certain things that they didn't experience. So they make you question what you have going on with yourself or with whatever people you have around you. And that's a tough pill to swallow when you realize that. But the only thing that I can do now is grow in my chapter and change my storyline for the better. That's the only thing I can do right now. And that's the best thing for me to do. So, and I will do that. It's going to take time and it's a slow process, but I will get there. And when I do, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And that's where I'll end the video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this or if you want me to do a more upbeat video. But you can comment down below, reach out to me on my social media, reach out to Flash's social media, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.